Boys and girls, today we are going to read one of our favorite stories. We have read this story a couple of times now. Let me get it from this book bag. Who can tell me the name of this book?
The Kissing Hand.
That's right. This is The Kissing Hand, and it's the story of little
he'll
Chester.
skip.
Yeah, this is little Chester, and he's a little bit afraid to go to school, isn't he?
Maybe he will escape out the book again.
I don't know if he's going to jump out of the book or not. That's what happened the last time we read this book, right? So, boys and girls, what I want to do is read the story, The Kissing Hand, to you again, and then I have a game for us to play. Now, the name of this book is The Kissing Hand, and the author of the story is Audrey Penn. The illustrator is Ruth H. Harper and Nancy M. Leake. They drew the pictures. And we've been talking about authors and illustrators. Are pictures just as important as words, boys and girls?
No.
Oh, yes, they are. They help us tell the story just as much as the words do. And the illustrations in this book are amazing. Let's start reading. Here is poor Chester, and look, he has a tear in his eye already, doesn't he? He is so worried. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. I don't want to go to school, he told his mother. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing in my swing. Can I please stay home with you? Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Would you guys rather stay home with your mom or come to school?
No.
Come to school, that's right.
Stay home.
What?
Stay home.
Oh, you guys are silly.
I want to stay at school.
Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate that. Now, Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's by the hand and nuzzled him in the ear. That means she hugged him on his ear. Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do, she told him gently, even if they seem strange or scary at first. But you will love school once you start. Thumbs up if you love school. Way high. School's my favorite place.
Me too. My school is favorite.
You'll make new friends, you'll play with new toys and read new stories, and swing on new swings. And besides, she added, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home.
It's really fun at school.
Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. You know what he said?
What?
He said, a secret. What kind of a secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers, and it's called the
Kissing
That's
Hand.
right. The Kissing Hand, asked Chester. What's that? I'll show you, said Mrs. Raccoon. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his hand. And Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand up his arm and right into his heart. Yes, he felt very warm and tingly, didn't he, boys and girls?
And the mask is tingly.
That's right, even his silky mask tingled with a special warmth. I'm so glad you remember this story. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with warm, toasty thoughts. That's a good idea, isn't it, boys and girls? Yeah, you can't wash off a kiss for sure. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss and said, now be careful. Don't lose it. Is that pretty silly?
Oh, a turtle.
Oh,
Even
yeah, there's
if
a
you
turtle.
wash your hands, they don't come
That's
off.
right, and that's the next part. When you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick. Mama kisses always stick, don't they?
Yeah.
And guess what? So do daddy kisses.
I
It's
know
true.
that.
You know it? Good.
My dad been kissing me in that.
Good. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. That's right. That night, Chester stood in front of his tree and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. What did he do?
She kissed her.
Yes, Give me your hand, he said. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan, and next he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he told her. And with a gentle goodbye and an I love you, Chester turned and danced away. These are all the boys and girls coming to school. That's right. And there's Mrs. Chester's mom right there, Mrs. Raccoon. And there's Chester, right? Does he look scared now?
No. And that's not what our school looks like.
No, our school does not look like a tree, and I don't think I look like an owl, do I?
No.
I try hard not to.
No.
Now, 1 second.
No, our school looks like a house, and you look like a teacher.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate
This
that.
kind of looks like a cookie.
Mrs. Raccoon, just 1 second, and I'll tell you, okay? Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across the tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in this school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you, it sang. Chester loves you. See? Does the picture go with the words? Yes.
Can you see the note again?
Here's the classroom.
Birds. Can you see the old
Well, we'll see if the old note is still
Even
there.
deer?
Look at all of the boys and girls at the Hoot Owl
The
School.
deer is on a tree.
Well, actually, look, the deer's on the ground looking up at the tree. I hope they can figure out a way to get the deer into the classroom, don't you think?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that tree is attached.
And this says, I love you. And there's the note that told us that Chester jumped right out of that book. That was a fun day, but I have another fun thing to show you now, boys and girls. Thank you for sitting quietly just 1 minute. The other day, we made these, didn't we? Raise your hand if you have a Chester puppet. I do too. Now, the game is with our Chester puppet and our letter cards, which I have right here. Now, these letter cards have Chester's picture on them. The way this game works is you put your puppet on your hand like this.
Okay.
You pull up a card
Okay.
and you say the letter and Chester says the sound. So what letter is this? Hey. And what's the sound? Got it?
That's for my
Then
name.
you pick, yeah, it is.
Mine
Another
too,
card.
mine too.
What letter is this? S. What's the sound? A. What letter is this? A. What's the sound? Ah. Do you guys think you could play this game?
Yeah.
Guess what? If you want to play this game at home, on our webpage, I'm going to put the Chester puppets, just in case you lose yours, and some letter cards so you can play the game at home. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Boys and girls, thank you for being a good audience.